Since 2005, this site on Bras Basah Road has been home to the Singapore Management University. But beneath the foundations of its study halls lie the remains of a very different kind of building. Hi, Dr. Solomon?
Hi.
Hi, I'm Kai. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Nice to meet you. Can you talk about what was on this site in the late 1800s?
So between 1860 and 1873, this was actually the site of the Bras Basah convict jail. It was built by convicts themselves.
Why were the convicts sent to Singapore?
Well, in the late 18th century, the British began to introduce penal transportation, the practice of actually exiling prisoners overseas within the empire as a new form of punishment. So they began to use transported convicts to build up colonies in places like Penang, Bencoolen and Australia from the late 1700s onwards.
The colonial government had a liberal way of organizing the convicts who were brought into Singapore. Well-behaved convicts were allowed more freedom. Some could even find their own employment as messengers and household help. Other classes worked unshackled on public works, including the construction of roads or buildings. What are some of the notable projects built by the convicts?
Well, many of the roads that you find in Singapore today were actually originally built by convict labour. The Cavenagh Bridge was actually the last public project undertaken by Indian convicts in 1869. Many buildings you find in Singapore today were also built by convict labourers. That includes the Istana.
How long did this labour system last?
Well, it actually lasted for about half a century. But by 1873, penal transportation to Singapore was ceased. As for the remaining convicts, some were sent to other colonies or penal complexes and some returned home to India. Some chose to settle in Singapore. Some married local women, started families and really merged into the local community after that.
Even though convict labourers arrived in Singapore under very different circumstances, they quickly gained the reputation of being hardworking and contributed much to the development of early Singapore. Their history will be forever intertwined with ours.